So here's a problem that may sound familiar. You've got plenty of light in the kitchen, but none exactly where you need it. So in this video, we're going to see what we can do about getting some light right directly above this little breakfast nook. Stay with me till the end. I've got some helpful tips to get you through a project like this. So let's see what we're up against. Let's get started. Hello again, do-it-yourselfers. Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician. I'm here to help you with your home electrical projects and repairs, to help you do them right, do them safely, and save you money. Okay, let's get right into this project. I'm standing directly under where I want this new light to go, and I'm hoping to tie into that can light there that's off. I've taken the lamp out of it, hoping to do it and fish over to it without having to climb into the attic, but that may not be possible. We'll find out. I haven't done any pre-investigating on this at all. So the light we're going to use is not a direct match to the others in here. Those are the Halo can lights, that the old style, and I'd rather not use one of those because it'll be more difficult to install. And also, if it happens to be that exactly where I want this light, if there's a truss in the way or anything, I'm going to be out of luck for doing that. So what I've picked up is a Halo can downlight, slim edge, same size, a 6-inch, adjustable color settings so we can match the lamps. She's got LED lamps in these pot lights. They're quite a cool white here, so we're gonna be able to match that because it's got different color settings on this. It looks just like this, so I should be able to center where I want it exactly and drill my hole. And even if I hit a truss, it's not going to be a big deal because we can just orient it so that this cord goes up into the attic and plugs into this junction box, which is also the LED driver. So it just plugs into this, and then we're going to have AC coming into a knockout here, feeding power hopefully from that light. I'm trying to do it without going in the attic, but I'm not holding out too much hope for that. So the first thing I got to do is pull down this can light trim and see if there's any way I can open up this ceiling space and get at the junction box. It's got spring clips that hold it in, so you got to pinch them together and work it out of the pot light itself. I'm looking up into the can, trying to see if there's anywhere that I can take the screws out and move it out of the way to get at the junction box, and I think I can. So let's give that a try. Okay, so just to give you a close-up of that trim, this is a 5125 WB Halo trim. Now those are the springs that I had to pinch together to get them out of the housing, and that's what it looks like. And then once you have that removed, inside the can itself is 3 small machine screws with a Phillips head. So spread a third of the way around the can. Remove those, and then I was able to push the can that holds the housing, push that up out of the way. All the while there's a whole bunch of raining down of blown in insulation, but we've saved it, and we'll throw that all back up there when we're done. Then right beside that hole is the junction box, and luckily, as I suspected, this is the end of the run, so there's already only a 2-wire cable in that junction box, which will make it nice and easy for us to fish over for another 2-wire cable to feed this new light. Now, giving you a close-up of that box again, the Halo light that we're going to install. It's a canless downlight, slim edge, 6-inch. So next step is to make our new hole. We're just going to be able to pretty much push that wire over to the other can and tie it in, and tie it into this junction box for the new light, and we're done. So we got lucky. We do have insulation up there that we're going to have to push back in. Let me just show you the inside of that hole for that can light and show you where that junction box is. I've removed the cover already. It's just got a little metal clip that you push aside and open up the cover, and that's how I can find out what wires are in that junction box on the 120 volt side. So I'll just take the camera up there and show you that. There's the mess I've made so far. And hang on, we're going to go for a little ride here. And there we have inside the hole, you can see the junction box, and that just goes up into the dark attic. And I've just pushed that can up out of the way. So again, if you can see that, that's my junction box where I got to tie into, and just fish over to the new hole that I'm going to create next. Okay, so I've tied my cable into the junction box. I haven't made the electrical connections yet. I'll show you that on the final connection once we've installed the new light and stapled our wires up there as best we can up into the ceiling. So turns out that the attic access is pretty good. So if I do need to go up there, that won't be a problem. It's got a pull down attic access with a built-in ladder on it. So that's pretty nice. Trouble is it's about 90 some degrees Fahrenheit, almost 30 here for us Canadians. 30 Celsius, and that means up in the attic it's really warm, really warm. You can just feel the heat coming out of it. So in that case, I tied my wire in. I'm gonna drill this hole now using this drywall hole saw. I've set it for the exact diameter of my new light, Canless light. So I'm gonna drill that. We're gonna have a bunch more insulation raining down. So I'll fill my bucket up with the insulation. We'll get the wire fished over, hook it up, snap it back into place, do our final connections, put that all back together, and then I'll take my bucket of insulation up into the attic and fill up all the holes that I made up there. So wish me luck. We're gonna drill the hole. The worst thing that can happen here is that it catches and skips across the ceiling and then you have a lot of ceiling repairs. So hold your breath, wish me luck. Nice and easy. Slow speed. You can speed up a little when you've got a firm trench dug with the blades. All right, so I'm almost through, but it's getting a little jerky here, so I'm gonna finish it with a utility knife just to be extra cautious. It's a smooth finished drywall or wallboard or gyprock, whatever terminology you're familiar with. Smooth finish on this ceiling, so if I happen to have an accident with the hole saw skipping across the ceiling, it won't be easy to match this up without noticing it. So we're going to be ultra cautious and finish with the utility knife. Okay, so my disc is all loose there. I'm going to hold my bucket, my bin up there, and catch as much as I can that falls out once I open this up. I got a vapor barrier there it's going to save me for now. So we're going to have a lot less mess on this hole than we do on the other pot light hole. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to fish the wire over, make a little hole here. I've got to make a little bigger hole because I've got to get the junction box shoved up in there. And then I'll tie in at the junction box at the can light. So here's my pro tip bonus for you. This is a Mille-pede fishing rod. So you just screw 1 foot lengths together as long as you need it. We're only about 3 feet away from the can light hole. So to get the wire over here, I'm just going to use the hole that the drill bit made for the hole saw, and I'm going to shove this rod up and over and fish it out at the other pot light hole, hook the wire on and bring it down here, and then I'll deal with the size of hole I'm going to need, minimum amount here in the vapor barrier to shove my junction box back up after it's all connected, snap my light into place. And then I'll go up in the attic and repair the vapor barrier and put all that insulation that fell down back in place and staple the wires against the roof trusses. So fishing up over towards the other can light should be very easy to find. And I'll just bring it down, tape the cable onto it, pull it back over here. So instead of a fish rod, or instead of going into the attic at this stage and cooking your brains out, Mille-pede Mille-rod fishing tool. They make them, all kinds of people make these, so check those out at your local home improvement store. And just to mention that before I go up in the attic to fasten that junction box, I've got to take this bracket with me. It bolts onto the junction box and then it allows you to screw that junction box to the roof trusses. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a nice tight close-up of the junction box here. You see on the side here of the driver, that's where you select your color temperatures. So we've got all the way from 2700 Kelvin up to 5000, which is where I had to set it for this installation to match the color temperature of the other lamps and the other pot light fixtures. I showed you earlier you can use this standard 1/2 inch knockout for a box connector, cable connector, or even more convenient, open the lid here. Don't even need a screwdriver to open the lid. You've got these connectors that you just lift up, and you can slide your cable right in, kind of a clamp fit arrangement. So you bring your cable in through these, get the jacket inside the connector so it's clamped in there, just like so. And I've already stripped these, so they've provided Wago connectors here. And you see there's already a pigtail tagging off the box, so the box is grounded to the arrangement here. Slide in your ground wire firmly into the Wago connector. Now your box is bonded, the fixture's grounded. Neutral, same thing, grab the connector, shove the wire in firmly into the connector. You can look to make sure it's right up into the top of the connector. Give it a tug, make sure it's snug. Same with the hot black conductor. Pull that out. Push your black wire in beside. Again, tug on it, make sure it's good. And all you gotta do, make sure your cable jacket's in the right place. Close the lid. Snap it down. And now included in the box was a little white envelope, and that contained 2 screws so you can put the bracket, the mounting bracket on. So the 2 screws go into the bracket, tighten them in, and once you've got that bracket installed onto the junction box, when you shove that back up into the ceiling, you've got 2 mounting tabs to screw it to the ceiling trusses. So there you go, as simple as can be. In the other pot light can fixture, same thing, we had these quick connects. So it's nice and easy to add onto the circuit, and it was especially nice to find that that other can light only had 1 cable in so far going in. So now we've got 1 out coming to our new fixture. Okay, so of course, I finished putting that can light back together and made the splices in there, turned the power back on, and Murphy and his stupid laws, of course it was the wrong color, so I had to pull it down. We'll check for a brighter, closer to the 5,000 Kelvin spectrum, and we'll get these matching as best we can here. And without blinding you in the camera there, I'd say I've got it right over to the bright white spectrum. I believe 5,000 Kelvin. Yep, and that's the match for the rest of them. So put her back together. There we go. All right, so I'm back all sweaty from being up in the attic. Very, very hot up there. I've put all the insulation back, taped up the vapor barrier where I needed to, and threw a couple staples in those cables. Hope you found this video helpful. Just one method of adding some light into your kitchen and getting it where you wanted it to be. Thanks for watching. Please leave some comments in the comments section below if you've got any questions on this or any other project you'd like to see me do. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Much appreciated. And I'll leave a link in the description to everything I used here, including that Mille-pede fishing rod or something similar, and a link to a couple videos. So again, thanks for watching. Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician.